Well, hello.
Hello, is that young Gyro?
It is. It is.
Maybe it is, but we can't hear him. Anyway, let's do the intro to this stream. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another game from the Duos and Dark Calls tournament for Fury of Dracula. Hello to everybody who's watching this live on Twitch. Hello to everybody who's watching this back after the fact on YouTube. We have a match here between Pizzawizard playing as the Hunters, representing the team called Helm's Deep Dish, and Geo on Dracula, of course, representing the Garlic Farmers. Hello to the Terminator in the chat. Thank you for the look, Snuff. Hope you enjoyed the game, and Met King as well. No sneak peek at work, that's absolutely fair.
Can you
I
hear me
just
now,
realised
buddy?
Gyro might be talking to me, but I might have messed up my settings. Which is also entirely possible. Yeah. Hello, Natalia. I think I've screwed up. Discord as per usual. I don't think so, because I heard Gyro pop
How
in.
about now? Can you hear me now?
Alright, let's see. Is Gyro here?
Can you hear me now?
Hey, loud and clear, buddy.
There we go. How's it going?
Very good. Very good. Thank you. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. Great to be here. I'm hopping into the game now.
Excellent. You haven't missed much, so we just started. We've missed a couple of days of supplying, but nothing exceedingly unusual. We've got a speed telegraph on Mina. I've also just realised
Sweet.
Pizzawizard is not doing his Pizzawizard setup.
No, he made a whole video about it.
Oh, did he? Oh, I missed
I
this.
didn't get the chance to finish it.
Oh,
Uh, but
fill me in.
yeah, I did start it. I've only just started it. I didn't get the whole narrative of it just yet, unfortunately. Then I sat down to do this while I was watching it.
Was it because he was traumatized by his experience versus Combat Wombat, so he wants to stop it? Anyone else trying the same thing?
Here, let me see if I can find it.
Alrighty. Yeah, I've just had so many things going on. I've seen there's been other videos being posted in the community, but I haven't had time to get around to watching them. But that's okay. You can fill us in. Anywho, so hello Natalia. If I didn't say hi, hello. Everybody, feel free. If you want to lurk, feel free. But if you want to talk in chat and predict where Dracula is, by all means, we'll see your predictions pop up on the screen, and we'll see. So yeah, I'm going to be a bit biased in this commentary because Geo, who's playing as Dracula, is my teammate. Yeah, I hope Pizzawizard gets absolutely crushed here, but it's going to be very difficult. Pizzawizard is, well, one of, if not maybe one of, the best hunter player we've ever had. Is extremely efficient on hunters, and if you just let him get going with the supplies, this could spell trouble. So actually, we played. It was actually funny in the last team tournament we had. Geo and I were teammates together again there, and we were battling at the top with Pizzawizard and his teammate, then Pirate Joe. Pizzawizard switched teammates for this tournament. Yeah, and I don't see any reason why Pizzawizard won't be near the top again with his teammate. Very, very strong player, and obviously now Geo played against Pizzawizard twice in that last tournament. So knows how Pizzawizard ticks a little bit. So we'll do have a little bit of strategizing before the match. And I don't know how you feel about this Gyro, but I feel that we know what Pizzawizard's like, and you were commentating on the game with Pizzawizard versus Fangs of Fire, right? And despite all of Dracula's shenaniganry, in the end, Pizzawizard just won in the Pizzawizard way because he was able to supply enough. So I was telling you have to try and disrupt Pizzawizard. I don't know how you do that, but you need to try and break his rhythm. Almost like how Combat Wombat did in that friendly game, where he just got all these Dracula cards and just was an absolute menace.
Yeah, what you need to disrupt the hunters is bats. That's why it's one of the better encounter cards. Is because it's one of the ones that can really throw a spanner in the works.
I'm kind of
Yeah,
oh, there you go.
that game was so interesting because Dracula just kept pushing and pushing and pushing the risk out He was taking all these big gambles in Central Europe. Uh, all for, as I so eloquently put it, all eventually the cows finally came home to roost.
The cows came
And
home to roost?
exactly, I like a little mixed metaphor now and again. And yeah, he was found in Venice with 6 health points, and then that was pretty. The writing was on the wall after that.
Right. Because he had to go into Valone, and even you just needed one hunt, and that did the job. Yeah. Especially once it's a CG. I'm really surprised that Geo hasn't Dark Called here. There is a Dracula event on top. I mean, now there's another one again here. So I feel like the way you disrupt is you try and really buy into the idea of this tournament and just try and Dark Call as much as possible and just try to overwhelm Pizzawizard with Dracula events. That might be the only way you can try to beat him. Because otherwise
Eh,
it's incredibly tough.
maybe he should have dark called before he went to Sofia. Then the newspapers wouldn't have revealed him.
Ah!
Not that there's any way he could have known that.
No, that's true. That's true.
Or as you might say, he wasn't to know that.
Yeah, he wasn't to know. So we'll have to see. He started East. No real surprise maybe from Geo. He does like to do that. He did it in the last game against Card Don't Shoot, of course, in the first week. So yeah, it's going to see how now Geo reacts to this. The fact he's been found with the immediate newspaper rather than the one that you have to wait for. But yeah, I think maybe you just have to take some risks here and do some dark calls and hope that you get a really top tier card off the top of the deck that really sort of swings things against the hunters, force some matures, and we'll just. There's no rumor token down either. Maybe you might place one now, perhaps. We'll have to see.
Now, it depends where he is, because if he bolted straight for Munich, like if he went Sarajevo, Zagreb, then maybe you just wolf form here.
I mean, they just did a psychic scan, and he's not in Zagreb.
Oh, they did. I totally missed it.
That's
okay.
right. Don't
Well,
worry.
yeah.
But the theory.
That's a smart thing to do.
But the theory's good though, because then you can easily sneak in a wolf form very early, and then the hunters are split in terms of do they try and deal with Sophie even though there's no rumor token on it, or do you try to find out if Dracula has actually wolf, or you could fake wolf form.
Mm-hmm. A great position for him to be in would be leaving behind Sophia, so that the hunters, like, if they want, they have to choose between going after Dracula or going after Dracula's trail.
Yeah.
You don't want them to be in a position where they can do both at the same time.
Yeah.
You want them to have to split direction between the trail and the Count himself. So heading to Munich would be really good. That's a start I'm a big fan of, is you put down your first encounter and say Varna, and then as fast as you can, you go for Munich.
Yeah. And see if the hunters are paid on, because sometimes you can get through without even wolf forming.
Mm-hmm. Every now and again.
And you might be able to catch Mina in a 1v1, or disrupt them enough that then they can't get to Varna, or whatever.
Or even the 2v1 where you escape as a bat is usually pretty worth, as the kids say. Be worth.
If it goes really poorly, you can just try and get towards the castle and just heal all that up, and they've expended all those resources trying to do damage to you, and
Maybe. That sounds great on paper, but usually if they've discovered the trail by then, usually Dr. Seward's already in Milan or something like that by that time.
Not if he has shit movement, though.
Yeah, but I mean, you just have him take the train. Like, if you ever heard of the train,
what happens if
nobody has. Yeah, if he has both the white ones, that's really sad. That's just, come on. That can happen, sure, but I'm just saying there's a lot of games where by the time they know you're in the East, Dr. Seward is suddenly a lot closer and more of a threat than he was before.
Right.
And you don't know where the sense of emergency is either at that point. And if he does take the train to 36, and you might not know if he even has fast horses yet or not. Maybe he's going to catch you in Munich. Yeah, there's a lot that could be going on there, but escaping as a bat, even if you do suffer a little bit of damage, well, maybe you put down a desecrated soil first or second or something like that. Get away as a bat and all's well. You wolf form after that, maybe.
Yep. If there's any issues with the audio, can stream chat let me know. I think we're fairly well. I think Gyro's turned up enough, so but just let me know if one of us is too loud or whatever, just let me know and I can adjust it from this end. It's still no Dark Core. I mean, there was a Hunter event on top, so I guess he wouldn't do it now. But yeah, there was I think like 3 days there was a Dracula event sitting there, and for some reason, Geo didn't want to activate the Dark Core. Maybe he doesn't trust it, or maybe he has a really good sort of set of encounters that he wants to try and throw down to create a really nasty trail to be dealt with. But there's no rumor token, though. That's the thing.
So I watched some of Pizzawizard's video while we've been here on his reason for using your start. I haven't quite gotten through to the end yet, but long story short, you're an evil demon, and he's gonna ride on your back into victory, and he's a heroic champion in the metaphor.
I'll take that. If he wins using my start, then I'll take that. That's like justification for my start. So if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, so there's a variety of different initial hunter starting positions, and the variation between mine and Pizzawizard is only where Dr. Seward starts. Does he start in Madrid or does he start in Bordeaux? And Pizzawizard for the longest time has started him in Bordeaux, whereas I've just stayed true and done it in Madrid and not changed it. Ironically here, because Dracula started east, having him at Bordeaux would have been better. But never mind. Oh, there's a horse on Mina, by the way. And 2 holy bullets in the discard. And 1 stake. So tracking these items is even more important now than before, because Dracula has lost a lot of information from the combat information screen. So he's now getting a lot more from the discards. Especially who is discarding. It's not just that they're in the discard pile, but you actually see who is discarding what.
Really That's high level play.
Yeah.
What about starting Dr. Seward in Paris? I think that's underrated.
I think there's definitely merit to it.
I mean, if Dracula wants to start in Spain, let him, and then Dr. Seward can just take the train straight to Madrid. It's like, yeah, maybe there's going to be a bat, maybe there's going to be a hide card, but it's Dr. Seward. Like, he'll be fine, right? Give him an escape route.
Yeah, I just there's the risk though that if it'll become a very common thing you have to deal with, and maybe you just don't want to deal with that. Now, what I hope has happened here is that this is something like some sort of delaying encounter, and then whatever the next thing is, Pizzawizard can't. Obviously, I'm very biased here. I want Pizzawizard to lose horribly, but I will try and remain. You know, if Pizzawizard does good stuff, I will try to praise him, as hard as that will be.
Oh, the scouts is a big one.
Oh, that's huge. I think
what are we gonna check?
Has it been? That's the second scouts. Oh, Lucy's Revenge has been discarded. Right, Pizzawizard's just doing that just to taunt me now at this point.
He knows you're watching.
Absolute bellend, honestly.
Funny thing is, it'd be kind of nice here if you bump into Dracula nearby, if he's lurking. Get a little Lucy's Revenge in. He doesn't escape as a bat, at least.
Unless he has something like Heroic Leap, but then that's more valuable. But you can then follow it up with a Lucy's Revenge in a second fight or something, so...
Tricky, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Heroic Leap does the damage, but it does the damage to Gnoming, too, at that point. And then Dracula can feed. Yeah. And depending on what kind of encounters you landed on... It's a rat!
Interesting, okay.
He's after my own heart! Oh, it's beautiful.
I don't know how I feel about rats being put down first. That's kind of wacky, but fair enough.
Yeah, well, it's a big expressive moment in the game. Let me tell you that. This game lets you really express yourself. And Dracula is saying, "Haha, I got you." He's trolling him a little.
So what's the situation here? He went to Sarajevo 3 spaces after Sofia, so he must have gone, because of the psychic scans, he must have gone Salonika, Valona, Sarajevo. But where's he?
I should clarify. He's having a little fun with him, but Sofia with rats, I mean, you could end up lairing that, and Sofia's a pretty good place for a lair.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if
and if they do... Sorry, I was just gonna say also if they do find it, they're probably gonna search it and like reveal a stake.
Hmm.
And now the rats will reveal a gun as well, or the absence of a gun, which means probably knife.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you're playing to try to trap the hunters in a bad fight in the east here, getting some knowledge like that could be pretty good.
Is there any way here that maybe... I don't know if the timing's going to work. Is there a way that maybe Salonica might be a bats or something? Gadami goes to check it, and then he gets pushed backwards, and if Dracula moves back into Sophia, Gadami might get pushed back into him, and if he has no weapon, he might get hit with like 3 encounters, including the rats, which are already there. He's going to try and just kill Gadami, especially since he's seen there's no Lucy's Revenge on the table.
Maybe that's what he's planning. I mean, did he lair it with the rats? No.
They did lair
No,
it.
there it is. Yeah, yeah. So Godalming didn't defeat the rats, which means likely no gun, which probably means he's got a knife, right?
Oh, and he's not even... Gadami's not even checking Salonica. Well, that's wacky. I guess he just doesn't want to vacate the lair. He's worried that Dracula's just going to circle right back to it, maybe?
Move right back onto it. It's possible.
Because if you are doing lots of damage to Gadami, it's no use if you don't kill him. You want to try and get something out of it in terms of points. Just killing him isn't enough, because another hunter could come in and mop up the rest of the trail.
Got me thinking about rats in a whole new way here. I mean, yeah, it's a bad card, but it's one of the best cards to have in your lair because the damage can't be avoided at all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, bodyguards are better, true, but bodyguards also have a matured effect that you might want to get instead. Whereas the rats, if somehow you can look 6 days into the future like some kind of swami, you could predict that you're going to make it back to that lair, and then that's the case. Rats, I mean, you could do worse than rats.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Has Dracula actually made it through the east-west corridor without even wolf forming?
And avoiding that psychic bond in the meantime.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Do you think this is Salonica Valona or Valona with Hive?
Yeah, good question.
It's one of those, and then he dodged the psychic bond that way. Pretty crafty.
I reckon it's Salonica and then Valona, because it's an additional location, right? That you want to put down. The hide, it's only one movement, even though you got 2 encounters on one space. If the fight didn't if he'd rumored Salonica or whatever the space is after Sophia, then I'd say maybe it's a hide because he wants to protect whatever's there.
That's a good point. I think, yeah, that'd probably be as Dracula, that'd be the move you would want to have made here. Even if maybe he was thinking about hiding over a hoax.
The thing is, if this is like some other dud encounter that Gio's thrown down here, and the fact that Gadami hasn't really checked it, then I don't know if this has all really worked, to be honest. The bats on Mina are quite important. If he can push her into a vamp... Yeah, he's...
Oh.
Alright.
Crafty.
Are we gonna have a dead Mina here? I mean, still, that's pretty good, because I think at that point he knew that Gadami had left, I think, or more or less. So you know, well, if Mina moves on, she can get hit by the bats, and even if you don't kill her in the combat with Dracula, you can weaken her and push her into this new vamp afterwards. But now this way, it's just happened without the combat with Drac, so it's fine. So she could still die here.
He ambushed with the bats.
He did,
Yeah,
So,
yeah, well played.
So we got a knife.
So you can get that knife.
Yeah. And you're never killing a new vamp here. So...
That's just a crucifix and a knife away, my friend.
Well, that's
Don't be
true.
too sure of it.
Does he have those things, though? That's the question. Oh, he's clawing? Yikes. Ugh, okay. I mean, 4 damage is 4 damage, but... There's 2 crucifixes in the discard pile. You really want to mesmerize there, because you want to try and threaten Mina and bite her, and then she's dead. And Even though she can recover,
Oh yeah.
she'll come back pretty soon. You've lost a horse as well.
Not to mention a whole handful of cards,
Yeah.
whatever they might be.
We got Speedy Telegraph.
Yeah.
She must have
So
plenty of good stuff,
it's
yeah.
likely he didn't have the Mesmerize.
Very possible. Unless he thought that Pizzawizard would punch to stop the Mesmerize, which is also a valid strategy.
Which is more dangerous? Punching in a night fight to try to stop the Mesmerize as Mina there, or just going for the escape and getting Mesmerized that way?
Yeah.
Kind of just a 50-50.
Especially since you don't have Crucifix in your back pocket. Maybe she has double knife, and maybe Pizzawizard was not fearing getting Mesmerized, because then you'd have double knife and dodge to protect yourself. So worst case scenario, you just lose 2 knives if they both get strengthed, and that's it. Okay, oh, there's a mature happening here. Ooh, okay. I see. It was Salonica.
You're right about the trail, though. It's deliberately,
trashy.
Yeah, a bit subpar in order to. I mean, it's a valid strategy. The hunters waste all their time dealing with these low-end cards that nevertheless deal damage. I mean, a Wolves here matured is actually not too bad. I've actually kind of always been, well, I want to say, I think Wolves are slightly undervalued.
Yeah.
Because that matured effect is actually not too bad.
Especially since Mina was already hurt. So now she's down to 3. So she's not useless, but this new van's gonna be quite tricky to deal with. You're gonna have to wait for Kadalmate to come in here. I guess it depends on what's in Valona.
And she can't become delayed to join the fight because
Right.
she's already delayed.
Well, I guess you're gonna do it with Valona first and then move in. But once if Valona is some sort of delayed effect, then you've got a bit of a problem. But then it's only a 3-point vamp.
Yes.
I don't know. It's a tricky one.
It is only a 3-point vampire, but I think multiple matures as a strategy is also kind of undervalued. Like, yeah, it's only 3 points, but what happens if you get another one through? Now you're at 7.
Well, now there's a bit of another problem, because if you mature this new vamp, then the Reckless disappears.
So they might just let him have it, especially since they found Milan now.
Yeah, I don't like Milan, because you just know Sua's going to go up to Paris and then rail to Milan, right? So
Agreed. You want to keep them guessing where you went after Munich. Did you go to Venice? Did you go to Nuremberg?
Yeah.
Zurich, maybe? Any of those but Milan.
Yeah, are you going Zurich, Strasbourg, and then trying to wolf form away from Strasbourg, which gives a lot of options? Are you trying to go to Marseille? Yeah, it's almost like giving the hunters like a little bit. It's making it way easier. Because now Seward, if he needs to, he can just stay put and supply for a stake for as long as he wants here.
Where did Seward move from? Paris?
Paris, yeah. Ooh.
So he has been taking the efficient trains.
Yeah. If he doesn't have horses, and even if he does have horses, it is still just as efficient, right?
It's better.
Well, no, it's 2 days to get to Milan with either horses or rail. But if your horse economy isn't good, then the rail is just better. Because you're guaranteed to get there in 2 days if you've got the right tickets, and you can kind of manipulate the deck. Hold on to a 3-2 with Seward always until you know what you're doing. And then you're probably very likely to draw, a yellow 2 the next day anyway, or the next night, so...
Because even if your horse economy isn't perfect, as long as you have all the white ones out, good enough can be just fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can have somebody holding on to that 3-2 ticket, or even a couple of them. As long as you don't risk losing the horse, I think that's usually well enough. It's situational, obviously.
Yeah.
But you don't want people to be sitting there pulling up a yellow 1 ticket and moving 1 space by horse when they could have just as easily taken a train.
Yeah.
Like, especially from Madrid to Paris.
Yeah, especially this early
so
on
much
too,
further.
where you're just doing it to reposition. You're not really caring about the intricacies of checking a very specific location. You just want to get into the general area of where you want to be to keep moving on.
Well put. That's a point for Dracula.
It is a point.
He got the old fangs in there.
Also, 1 point of damage onto the vamp, but he's still got the plotting in play, which is kind of interesting. He decided not to cancel that punch. So now a knife could kill this vamp. Maybe just strength with this reckless here, because you either get 2 damage in, or you might potentially block a knife. Or holy... oh no, there are 2 holy bullets in discard.
Yeah, but I bet he escapes.
He's dodging.
Yeah, cancel it. Punch him. Yeah.
Yeah. Get 2 more damage. I know it's Seward, he can heal up very quickly, but...
all the more reason to hurt him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we know he's in Milan now, but what if he had instead gone to Nuremberg, right? Well, if you're in Paris and you go for another ticket that same night and you get, let's say you get a white 3 again, you're in position to move into Germany by train. And then at that point you're kind of, nice shot.
Is there gonna be bullets here?
No, he threw him out.
No bullets. Is he gonna knife now? Because knife will kill now. If only holy bullets, he says. That's why you don't discard them. Is he gonna try knife, maybe? If you risk it and you get the fang off... He could get another point and heal this reckless back up to full. I don't think would Seward really have used bullets there if he had a stake? Oh no, use a rifle if he had a stake. Maybe just to block the damage. So now he's gonna dodge. Yeah. Yeah. He did it to
Pretty
block.
messy fight. I like it.
Yeah.
Both sides beating each other up.
Seward might well have a stake though. He just played the rifle to try and block some damage. It's understandable.
Right.
Probability tells you it's going to be claws because he's already used 1 strength for 1 fangs. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing is, I guess, if he's in something like Marseille or Zurich, right? Tomorrow, Seward's the only hunter that can threaten. So, that's fine. Oh, another wolves. If that matured, then Mina would have been in right trouble. Oh, you got a knife. Okay. So it surely has to be... Oh, he doesn't have a horse, though. Ah, so it did have a stake. Okay, so he's doing it just to try and reduce damage, which makes a lot of sense.
And he staked it.
He did
He
stake.
staked it too. So does that imply he's going for Sarajevo too?
Yeah.
That would be very much like Pizzawizard to really value those Dracula points, because they, in a way, they represent Dracula nearing his victory more so than just like slowly filling up the bar. If that makes
she
any
has a
sense.
stake. Flippin' heck. Okay, well they don't have to deal with
Get
it.
rid
Then.
of it.
Don't have to worry about a fight.
Suffer not the undead to exist.
Well, that's 2 stakes gone, but they're not on rumored vampires, and there's also another stake in the discard. So now this is where you want to kind of start throwing down the rumors, and you can throw down 2 in a row here, and you might be able to get 1 to mature because the hunters are going to be really struggling to try to. So now the hunters have a bit of respite.
Suffered a fair bit of damage.
Right, they've taken damage, but the three of the 4 closest spaces to maturing are dealt with. So if they just go, and then they might all just congregate in Munich anyway and heal up with Seward, and they'll take a few turns doing that. Since you know his general sense of direction, we know it's Milan, so it's not like he's going north from Milan. But he could do. He's going to have to go the long way from Zurich and face. You could Psychic Scan Germany as well.
Yeah, this could be Zurich to Nuremberg, Zurich to Strasbourg, even Zurich to Geneva. He could have also gone Genoa, Marseille, or down into Italy.
Yeah.
Through Florence.
Marseille's a bit risky though, because there's a good chance that Van Helsing's going to go into Le Havre and then rail down to Marseille. But he might want to maybe try and... Oh, wow, Harker.
Maybe old Hubby will tell us right now.
Yeah.
Hubby Harker.
Hey, hello, good vicar. I remember you have a different name. I can't remember now off the top of my head.
Welcome.
I'm losing track of everybody. This is the problem. But welcome in.
Ooh, I don't know about that Toulouse check. I guess he just wants to he wants to check the extremities more so than know where Dracula went after Milan.
Where would you check?
I feel like I would have checked Zurich.
Yeah, I was thinking Marseille, but I was kind of you're thinking the same idea in terms of check the proximity, the next location after
The
Milan.
problem with checking Marseille is that if Dracula did go like Zurich, Geneva, he's just gonna instantly move there after you check it. Whereas I feel like Zurich, depending on where he is, I don't think it'd be as easy for him to do that, right? Because if he did go to Marseille and then you check Zurich, I don't know. You can get, because then if you check Marseille, and he might have gone to Zurich afterwards, but it's a lot riskier because he's not getting anywhere. If that makes any sense.
Right. I guess it all depends. Like, if he'd found him there, then we'd be, the hunter side of the board would be jumping for joy and going, okay, right, we know exactly the direction he's moving in. We don't have to go north. We don't have to go sort of into, like, deeper into France. We don't have to worry about Italy. He's heading towards Iberia. This is really easy for us. So I understand that you'd want to rule out that extremity very early, but it's tricky then if you miss it. That's the problem. Thank you for the posture check. I'm probably going to need it this game. Especially as my teammate is playing, so I'm going to be straining and getting animated.
He's got to be doing the classic Dracula shenanigans of going through Central Europe, right? The old Zurich, Strasbourg, Nuremberg triangle.
But what's his follow?
That's what I'd be doing.
The problem is you're going to have 3 hunters in really close proximity, and then also Van Helsing coming into play. If you're not careful, you might get jumped on 4-on-1 here.
You can do like Fangs of Fire did, and while you're hitting all those cities, you put down a bunch of vampires for them to deal with, then you wolf form out.
Second bats or even some saboteurs and delay them, so then if they've got like a renewed vigor, they're not going to be able to use it because you've got a couple of hunters delayed and this sort of thing. I don't know. It's Gyro might be cooking something.
Okay, here's the horses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does have horses in the end. Okay. We kept them hidden.
Yeah, I actually really like the trash trail at the beginning because it softens the hunters up a bit. You weaken them up for the second act here, where now they either chase you and they're hurt and damaged, or they stop in Munich, like you said, and heal up with Dr. Seward, in which case that buys you time as well.
What? Oh, he's supplying. I didn't expect that. What I expected to happen here was Seward goes up to Milan. He can search it because he's healthier, and then Mina can come in and heal up and psychic scan. That's what I thought was going to happen. Mina doesn't have a stake, so you could easily do some nasty stuff to her then if she searches. Oh, it's a vamp. Oh, didn't go through Marseille. But he could be.
Oh, only the one.
It's not a layer though, but maybe he's doing like this whole like Geneva Clermont-Ferrand thing, because then if the hunters move off the rail line, especially if it's Van Helsing, he's gonna take. If you miss him, you got to send another turn.
Delays. Okay, that's good for Dracula. Create some delays.
I mean, that's also good too, right? Because then it means then if there is some sort of renewed vigor potential for next turn, he's not going to do it with Godalming delayed.
Yeah. Now it looks like Mina or Seward is going to deal with Munich.
Yeah.
And then that might buy Dracula some more time. Like maybe he's in Brussels right now and he's going to go to Le Havre or something.
Yeah. And maybe dance around like the western French coast, perhaps.
Maybe he's in Clermont-Ferrand. He could move to Bordeaux.
He hasn't wolf formed yet.
Maybe he's in Toulouse. He's about to move from Clermont-Ferrand to Toulouse tonight.
Definitely possible. Yeah. Definitely very possible. You could then wolf form like maybe deep into Iberia if you wanted to, and then maybe misdirect the Toulouse. That's something else you could do. Unless he's in Nuremberg now and he wants to then try and wolf form east, because all the hunters.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Skip the psychic scan, because they didn't move into Munich today, which I think was a mistake. Because you might easily find him in Germania, and then that rules out a lot of stuff. You're a huge fan of your psychic scans. Mina only rolled a 1 on her horse anyway, so unfortunately that wasn't
in the cards.
But Seward would have
the-
moved first anyway. He didn't have the intention to Psychic Sky because Seward would have moved.
Right. Yeah, that would have been a good opportunity for it. Yeah, maybe he's in 58 right now.
Oh, never mind. He could be in Nuremberg now, though.
He could be in Nuremberg. He could have gone to Nuremberg after Zurich.
I really don't like the. Oh man, I'm really not a fan of these ambushes. I'm becoming way more against vampire ambushes.
Especially now that you've seen Dr. Seward's stake already.
Yeah.
He's probably doesn't have another stake. Except that he just played Lucky Find, so I bet he used it to get one.
Did you see what Lucky Find discarded, by the way?
Could be worse.
Ah, Heavenly Host and 2 Holy Bullets, and they're not coming back because the deck is just reset. So he's obtained a stake,
Well,
but he's not going to use it on a rumored vamp. Although there's the potential to rumor, I suppose. And he got rid of it, so now CG's weaker. Rifles and pistols are weaker.
it is a bit unfortunate, but I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I think I don't know what you get out of that ambush. That's just me personally. There might be an alternative view, but you did 2 damage to Seward. Oh, great. He's just gonna heal it back up like it's nothing. So yeah, I feel like baiting. I mean, I know it would. I mean, he could have baited him into a knight fight potentially, and yeah, he can still use the Lucky Find. But then he's stuck in a knight fight that he might get bitten or he might take more damage. And he's kind of then stuck there for even longer.
Yeah, Night Fight's better, and a lot of people don't think much of a bite token, but once you actually have one, all of a sudden it's like this huge burden.
Right.
Specifically on Dr. Seward and Godalming, obvious reasons, because Mina's already dead by the time she gets the second one,
Right.
and Van Helsing can take 3.
It makes things like Heavenly Host plays way more risky because you're not just getting bin and removed from combat. You're getting bin, removed from combat, and defeated.
And you become subject to the Vampiric Influence card, which is actually a huge liability.
Especially with this tournament.
Who knows? Somebody could be holding on to Consecrated Ground. And yeah, as you said, this tournament's new rules, Dracula might Dark Call at any time and play Vampiric Influence.
Yeah. Especially right now, just imagine, like, Mina's down. She's got 1 weapon. She's on 3 health. What happens if you suddenly Dark Call now, get Vampiric Influence, rob her of her weapon, and then you push her into a bodyguard in Zagreb or something, and then she dies, and there's nothing you can do. Even Great Strength doesn't save her. And then suddenly now, Pizzawizard is down a horse, which is not going to reset because the deck is in that position, and he's given up points and tempo and events. It's just massive. So I feel maybe as Dracula's here, you have to just take a little bit of a punt and say, I'm just going to Dark Call, and let's just see what happens. Especially since he's played Mystic Research.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risk, though, too.
Especially since he's...
What happens if you get...
He's so close to Strasbourg. That's the problem now. He's not built up distance, so he can't Dark Call safely.
Actually, you might be right, though, because he might have gotten Great Wolf, too, and then he could have used it to pounce Mina.
That'd be great.
Like... and when Great Wolf is not too bad of a card to draw, that pretty much means any Dracula card would be an okay card to draw at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, even worst case scenario, I get Great Wolf and maybe score a hunter kill, and if not, I put her down to 1 health.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah.
But it'd be massive though in this case, because especially since just with the fact horse is lost and the item deck's reset, so they're down a horse for the rest of the game essentially.
As Dracula, you have to sort of you have to start thinking, what card is that top card? And then you have to go through all the various scenarios and permutations of what it could be, and what would you do with it if you drew it.
Yeah.
And then you have to kind of weigh the odds. Like 4 out of, how many cards does he have? Like 25?
25. Yeah.
Let's say like 4 out of 25 cards is going to net you a huge victory. Do you go for it? Is it worth it? You have to kind of just figure it out. But what if 15 of those cards could be useful?
Yeah.
then you probably should do it, right?
Wait, why are you rumoring that? Surely Seward nabbed a stake.
Yeah, maybe he didn't cotton on to that though.
Uh, yeah, I don't know about that one.
Nuremberg, good check.
I mean, nice wolf form from Nuremberg, but yeah,
So
they're
this
finding
was
these locations very quickly. Oh, okay.
good bats. So this was Frankfurt to Nuremberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Mina has a weapon though, so you can't kill
The
her.
triangle.
Can't
The
kill
triangle
her.
has become a quadrangle now. Frankfurt stocks are really on the rise these days.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't expect you to go that way. Yeah, it's so difficult. I think there was an opportunity to go for the Dark Call. Because I think the only card which would be useless in this very current situation would be Sensationalist Press. Everything
And
else
even
would
that,
be useful.
even then, what if they draw hired scouts on the next turn?
Well, it could, yeah, it might be enough. If they
Well,
play
yeah,
Speed
or
Telegraph
or
and
a
do
new,
Vigor Trick, right? Yeah.
or 2 days from now they draw newspaper reports that's gonna flip over your wolf form.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
I was only thinking in terms
all the
of
worst cards could have still helped them.
I was only thinking from the perspective, it's he's adjacent to Strasbourg, he's in real danger, he has to move, rather than just staying in place and dark calling.
Dr. Stewart becomes delayed to participate in the fight. I don't mind that because he'll become undelayed this same night.
Yeah. And his night action isn't that critical here because he's not down very much on health.
Yeah, that's a good move. There's strength in numbers here. Come to your buddy's aid. He's under attack by the vampire.
Then you're just giving the Hunters an opportunity to kill this. That's the problem. I felt like moving to Milan would have been better, but then you're not going to be able to kill Mina now because Mina doesn't have a.
Well, I was gonna say he's hoping to snag some weapons. It looks like, and he's got one now.
Is that? Did he pick up the third Holy Bullets? Were the 3 Holy Bullets at the top of the 5 cards? The fact you
If so, I hope
rifle,
he's got a pistol.
Yeah. He discarded dogs, so he must have picked that up with his. Maybe he had dogs anyway, or he picked it up with his Milan supply. Maybe he, or maybe he snagged a weapon. He maybe got another. Maybe he picked up the rifle. So then who's got the last stake then? Because we had 3 in the discard before the reset. So if Sue doesn't have the stake, where is it?
Maybe Van Helsing has it.
Ah, possible. Oh, okay. If you just break Seward's stuff, then that's just great. Oh, you're fanging. Okay. That's a dead vamp. That's a dead vamp.
He knows.
Yeah.
The man just knows.
He's locked and loaded. Oh,
No?
he's not!
No, he's not.
Oh!
Ordinary bullets.
Then what is happening? Oh my goodness.
Dr. Dude was in such a hurry he couldn't stop by the local parish and ask the priest for his blessing on the bullets.
He just had too much stuff to do.
Please, I'm in a dreadful hurry. Just say a quick Hail Mary over my bullets, please.
He didn't make it as far south to the Vatican, he only got up to Milan. I mean, is there any way this vampire somehow lives here? Unlikely, unless you somehow fang a heavenly host from Godalming.
You fang again so that you get to 3 health, right? And then maybe you survive
if it's
the next
double
attack.
punch or something.
And then you get away as a bat. Or a fog.
Or a mist, yeah. Because I think it's like, especially since now, 1 heavenly host in the discard. If you're using heavenly host now, you're making CG potential very, very weak. He's clawing into a gun. No!
Dodge. He already.
Oh yeah, because one
his
got
gun.
broken, didn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be
So he
surprised
pulled
if
the
Sula
other
just
off
whips
his
out of a pistol. Punch? Yeah. Ah, see, that's the problem. I don't really like that ambush. I hate to do this to my teammate, but I don't like that ambush because you're just making it more likely that the vampire dies, and then that rumor token is now off the map. As one less thing that the Huns have to deal with. Now they can just concentrate on the wolf form rather than wolf form and this other encounter and a rumor token. You could double up on rumors here, put a rumor on the wolf form, and then suddenly now the Huns have to decide, can we really deal with 2 vampires. You let one mature, that's suddenly then up to at least 7 points, and then the game's very different. Dracula can just play survival until the 4th week and only make a couple of moves. Now, Dracula's got to try and make 4 moves at the 4th week, which is very difficult against likes of Pizzawizard, because he can just accumulate events and then just wallop you, so... It's tough.
Yeah, maybe a little ambush happy with that particular new vampire, but...
Yeah, I agree. I think just pushing into Munich... I mean, I know then that you're providing the potential to Psychic Scan, but then you can hit both of them, or maybe get Mina even weaker, so she's even more irrelevant in terms of moving forward onto the trail and stuff.
Do you think he's in Zagreb now?
No, Zagreb's a layer, but he could have gone to Vienna. And I guess he doesn't want to remove Zagreb, because then... Well, I guess you maybe do remove Zagreb. Especially if you're not there, because the hunters have to go and check it. And that's a wasted... Basically 2 moves wasted going there. 1 to go and then 1 to come back. Yeah, I think that's a mistake. I think, as well. I think you need to get rid of Zagreb here.
Well, before you wolf form.
Right, but maybe you could do it now, and the hunters wouldn't realize. I see. Terminus, what's Terminus saying? Pizza's been very efficient clearing the trail, isn't he? Yeah, no, he's just doing Pizzawizard things as always. We come to expect it from Pizzawizard at this point. What do you do here with Harker? Rule out Vienna? Ah, there you go. That's what he did. So he hasn't gone east.
So yeah, now that it is unfortunate that he didn't clear Zagreb before the wolf form.
Yeah.
At this point, because then there would still be some doubt in Pizzawizard's mind about, yes, he didn't go to Vienna, but he may have gone to Zagreb.
Yeah. That's a real shame.
At this point, I suspect he went up into Germany. It's possible he went to Geneva instead to be extra tricky.
So is that why he didn't push Gadami into Mina, because he's worried about the Psychic Scan? Oh, hey a minute. There's renewed vigor. Mina has renewed vigor. Oh, man. Imagine if you'd killed her. And that just yoink a renewed vigor from her. Oh. Makes it even more... I think even more so that you take the risk and Dark Call when there's the opportunity to Dark Call. Maybe Dark Call now.
Yeah, maybe you do.
You've got distance. Just go for it. I think you have to be...
If you get Vampiric Influence,
yeah.
you definitely get Renewed Vigor, and you might also get to kill her, if depending on your lair in Zagreb. If you're... We've seen some fighter vampires at this point,
yeah.
So it might just be sort of benign, but... Here's another thought. What if you play Vampiric Influence, right, and she reveals her hand to you, and she's only got the one weapon, and you have a bodyguards in Zagreb?
That's another way to do it.
Well, then,
yeah.
Yeah, you take the weapon, get the kill, and then you get the Renewed Vigor and the horse. You get everything.
Yeah, and it's even better that way, because then you don't have to worry about playing around Great Strength or an escape route or something. Especially now she's up to 5 health. Well, now this is the problem. She's at 5 health, so bodyguards don't kill. Wolves wouldn't kill. Yeah. Well, we'll see. They still got the next thing after Strasbourg. Which is
It's tough to see.
Oh, that's Geneva. The next thing's Geneva on the trail. Yeah, no...
It's tough to see all those opportunities like that because we're not really used to this rule set as a community.
Right. But I think that's something we're going to have to adapt to. And I think it makes it really cool because it gives a completely different sort of slant onto the game. No combat wombat combo. No, and it was something we were discussing beforehand, Terminus, that I feel like the way you try and beat Pizzawizard is you just have to disrupt him as much as possible. If you just give Pizzawizard this like slow, even if Pizzawizard has issues at the beginning with movement or with items or whatever, if you give him this sort of slow build of him just clearing the trail and just slowly supplying, because Van Helsing's done nothing but supply. Oh, he's now Dark Calling. Oh, okay. I mean, that's fun. He's also reset his deck, so he's got double fog now, guaranteed.
It's about damn time.
Didn't get Vampiric Influence.
There's
though,
the
sadly.
Dark Call.
I think it makes sense because now you can feed and you heal up all the damage from the Wolf Form with the Dark Call. But I feel like, yeah, I'm not saying you have to do a crazy combat wombat combo or anything, but you need to try and do stuff to Pizzawizard that he doesn't expect you to do. Hunters like Pizzawizard and I operate under this very sort of, I don't say mechanical, like in a bad sense, but very much like autopilot. We're going through the motions. We're just gonna do everything that we always do. You need to try and find a way of disrupting that. And I feel like the events are a really good way of doing it.
Yeah, you got to ruffle the other guy's feathers a little bit.
Yeah. Hunters can play the slow game as much as they want, because they can just accumulate events and then hit you once and then you die. Dracula's got to try and gain lots of incremental advantages throughout, and that can be quite tricky. Or try and disrupt a lot.
And it wasn't Paris.
No, it wasn't.
So that leaves Brussels, Cologne, Berlin.
Unless he's got down to Venice.
Venice? Oh, yeah.
Oh, but why would you dark call in Florence, though? That's so risky. Unless
maybe he hit in Venice. That'd actually be kind of solid. Oh, we got the soil. That's huge.
Yeah. Which is why he probably dark called then, too, right? Because he knew, oh, well, I can get a host, a soil to mature. In the humble psychic opinion, it's a good idea to play aggressively. Yeah, I think that's the way. And I feel like the events are great, because we were talking about it earlier now. There's a lot of threats that hunters would normally consider. Because hunters never night supply, these like cards that before seemed very benign, things like Great Wolf or Vampiric Influence, because they very rarely occur, now have huge threat. Because Mina was sitting there for a long time only on like 2, 3, 4 health. Well, once of you, as you said, Vampiric Influence her, nick her weapon, and push her into something like a bodyguard, and now she's suddenly dead. And then there's points, and a horse dead, and renewed vigor gone, and also then you got a hunter off the board, etc, 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 etc. So, yeah, I feel like you have to play a little bit... Dragons have to play a little bit riskier now. But then, if they get even one solid card, that could then just swing a situation that would normally be very safe for the hunters into a very precarious situation. So... But again, we're still learning this rule, because we've only been playing with it for like, I don't know, 2 weeks. Oh, crap. I'm going to snooze this ad. Hopefully the snooze went through in time. Oh, crap. They're only snooze for 5 minutes? Oh, that's shit. Okay, I'm going to quickly run a 2-minute ad, but that means then we shouldn't have any more ads for the rest of the game. Fingers crossed.
Hope it's a good one.
Yeah, next ad in 45 minutes. Cool. The game might be over by then. If not, I can snooze it. I've got 2 snoozes. Alrighty. Okay. So, yeah, this could be Italy. Maybe took the risk and went to Florence before. There's no way the hunters would think that I'm dark calling in Florence. That's just suicidal.
But it is suicidal, so that's why it's kind of not a great idea.
Oh, so he didn't get sensationalist press. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, no.
And he hid there. Oh goodness. Well, that didn't go great. So we now know it's a wolf form to Venice. Oh well, okay. Well, that's all that. And he didn't rumor the Genoa thing, whatever it is. Ah. Is he...
Yikes.
He's still got his Sophia layer up. Is he looking to try and go 2 sea moves and then wolf form into Sophia? And he got triple thing. There.
Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, he could get there.
And if he rumors that, that's very late in the game for a rumor. He could rumor Bucharest as well, because you'll have another rumor token in time. And he could then just go Black Sea Coast, and then he might be able to escape in time.
Well, I mean, he could have been all the way to Rome by now, which... Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that he didn't want to actually go through Florence, because that could have been disastrous if the CG came up, but... Rome, if he had taken that gamble, he could be in Rome, and that's a better place to be right now, slightly. Because then you could either go to Bari or to Naples, depending on what your plan is next.
Oh, can you imagine if you go to Bari and then just take 1 sea move? You're putting another encounter and you're moving by sea once. And also, even if you still go Tyrrhenian, you're going deeper into Italy, so the Huns have to commit even further into that peninsula to deal with your stuff.
if you, I don't know, because Adriatic Sea does look really great, but on the other hand, if you go 2 sea zones from Turanian, you're splitting the map between Spain and the East. And if you're gonna return to your lair, then yeah, you're gonna give the game away that you're in Sofia. But maybe you don't do that immediately. Maybe you go Salonika, Valona first. Meanwhile, Pizza Wizard still has to figure out what's going on. But then maybe you even go to Sarajevo or Belgrade from there, and then eventually return to the lair by the time he's cotton on to what's happening.
It's too late. But then I think you want to get the layer down onto the trail as soon as possible, because then you can rumor it and you pressure the hunters earlier in terms of here's this triple thing. I know there's a rat, but there might be 2 other really difficult things to deal with, and it's going to mature sooner now.
Well, that's true, but on the other hand, Pizza Wizard already has his hands full right now with Venice and Genoa, and maybe it's more advantageous to kill a little more time first in the east. Like if you were to land in the east, you want to spend a few days before hitting the lair, and then you rumor it up and go to sea, and you go, all right, have fun dealing with that rumored lair and the stuff around it, and meanwhile I'm just going to go to sea for 4 turns and win.
Is there any possibility here he's got like double fog and he wants to try and bait them to move in, and then he escapes, and then sure they're supplying and stuff, but they can't reposition.
Well, if he feeds, then surely that'd be like saying, "Come and get me." Then what do? Do you come and get him?
There's an excellent
Do you call his bluff?
Possibly. I don't know. I mean, there's a wax cylinder's gone, by the way, so they can't check it. They can only check one of the things anyway. Excellent weather is also gone, so there's another one kicking around. There's a chartered carriage gone.
You move Godalming in, carrying 2 forewarns, and win the game.
That's only if he ambushes Godalming. So you have to have something else, like a heroic leap or something in return. No, he's leaving.
Point.
Boring, Dracula. No, I think that's a safe decision, right?
Yep, he's gone. Now he'll move 1 more sea zone and land with a wolf form, which is not a bad position for Dracula to be in.
Oh. Where's that chartered carriage off to? To Vienna?
Yeah, doesn't it seem
Munich?
a little...
No, he won't be to Munich. He must be going to Vienna, surely. Yeah, there he goes. No, he's going to... Oh,
no, to Venice.
Inefficient one to go to Venice.
Yeah, it still moved him 3 roads, though.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
So there's no road from Geneva to Milan. It's very sneaky, that lack of road.
Yeah, if he had moved to Vienna, that'd be 1 more train rail, but it would still just be 3 roads. Yeah. So, I mean, he moved 3 roads either way. I don't think it's too bad. Plus, he deals with Venice now while he can.
That's good. Good for Dracula. Just make that clear, I want Dracula to win here. If you got that tomorrow... Hey! Yay! That's good.
Oh, that's not good news for Pizza Wizard. You don't want to see those cards now. You want to see them a couple turns from now.
What I want to see here is fog in Venice and fog in... Yeah, we go. Good. So that you can just trap them and you can land, and then those 2 hunters are tied up. That is exactly what you want to see. A stake.
Surely it's fog, right?
Has to be double fog, right? Oh, but your favorite. Actually, no, they're not. The Chad Saboteur is better, right?
Way better. He'd be delayed right now if the Saboteur was there.
No fog. Only fog in Venice.
Got real beat up, though.
He did.
But as a doctor, I'm sure he has terrific health insurance.
He doesn't need insurance. He just do it everything on himself.
He's covered.
Yeah. Just for people to know, I did point it out, but not verbally. Mina now has planned ambush, which makes her a little bit more deadly to deal with, and also the renewed vigor's been moved off her, so any vampiric influence is not going to be as powerful. Pizza Wizard has been got by that tactic once before in this tournament. It's not going to let it happen a second time. No. I mean, what does Dracula have as a card here? There's no Dark Returns because it's in the discard pile. Wasn't False Tip because we would have seen it for the Chartered Carriage thing. I mean, maybe it's just Unearthly Swiftness, and that would just be grand. That would be lovely. Or Devilish Power, that'd be really nice. But this is what I'm talking about. Look at the item deck. Pizzawizard almost threw it a second time. I know there's Lucky Find in there, right? But Van Helsing and Mina have just been sitting there supplying for several turns, and now all that stuff about, oh, there's a Heavenly Host that's in the discard pile, well, that might not be relevant anymore in a few turns' time.
Yeah, yeah, especially with that very late game Consecrated Ground play.
Yeah.
Like, to try to save the game, essentially. You got a much better shot now if you can get that host back.
I can't remember exactly when the advert ended, just in case anybody missed anything. We had a fog in Venice, and Gagami's trapped for an extra day because he searched it at night. Seward got beaten up by bodyguards and mob. He took all the damage like a champ, and that's it. Oh, there's a local rumours drawn on Van Helsing, which is not relevant because he drew it one turn early, and Mina drew scouts when Dracula's at sea. So that all worked out really well for Dracula. But look at him, he's got through 2/3 of the deck. Like, this is just illegal.
There's 22 cards left. Yeah, it's kind of
I know
crazy.
he's Mystic Research, but still, it's just, he's just so annoying. He's just so good at doing this. And I'm just worried about the storm that's coming. If Gyro just gives him, like, one opportunity to catch him, he's going to get hit with every single good card in the game. Even a suboptimal CG could be really potent here. Maybe Sophia's a bad idea, because you suddenly get CG'd in, you could CG Varna, so you're forced backwards towards the hunters, and then you're cooked, as you would say.
Well, I mean, if you go straight to Sophia, and you get hit by Consecrated Ground, the worst he could do is force you to, like, Valona.
I think that's still good,
Right,
though.
like,
That's still good for the hunters. You can friend an excellent weather. I know there's one gone, but you can friend an excellent weather across. And things because he's wolf forming to Sophia, that almost acts like a permanent CG token. Right? Because of you can't misdirect it.
There's still the Heavenly Host in the discard pile, too. So it would really just be a triple threat CG. So what are you gonna do? You gonna hit Bucharest, Sophia, and Varna?
Yeah, I think that's very strong. Because then you're forced out of Sophia, and you can't get into the Black Sea coast. Because that wolf form is just permanently sitting there. I guess the only thing you could do is go Valona, Athens, and hide, and just try and survive long enough that Ionian falls off the trail again. But,
Yeah, that would be pretty rough. Why, maybe you don't return to the lair here.
No, maybe. Oh, well, he's wolf forming, so we're gonna find out.
Maybe you move to Salonika.
He removed it.
Oh, he did. Oh, okay. Wanting to raise a little bit of doubt. But what about the rats?
Oh, the rats! Oh no!
About the rats!
They've been sitting there all game waiting for their epic moment. I guess
because rats that get to do 4 damage are like the happiest rats in the whole pack.
Oh, of course.
They're so happy. A rat that gets to do 6 damage? Oh, he's like king of the rats.
Rat king. I mean, the thing is, like, I guess you go there. Yeah, I guess you go to Sophia anyway, because you could maybe bluff Devilish Power. And if Pizzawizard then waits an extra turn and tries to force you off Black Sea Coast, who cares? You could just throw it. Oh, unless he just puts Heavenly Host on the. Well, I guess it's okay still. No, I guess it's fine.
No.
No, he just goes. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you go to Salonika and feed.
Maybe.
Maybe Sophia, then you go to Varna and feed there. Then you get your hide card back.
What's the scout situation? We've got...
I think they're all used up.
No, there's one left there. I think, if I'm counting correctly. Is he just Night Supply? Yeah, he's Night Supply, isn't he? And then I guess there's no Hypnosis, because you would just try to get that played ASAP if you didn't have it. If you had it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you would think.
One had scouts.
But wasn't Godalming still trapped by fog?
But then what about Seward? 2, 3. There's a hide scouts left, you know. Let me count Dracula cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, plus one that Dracula's holding. So there's only 4 in the deck, I think, if I've counted correctly. So there's...
And one's on top.
The odds are so good for Pizzawizard here. In terms of, you know, Night Supplying and not drawing. Yeah, he's going for it.
Yeah, it's 3 out of 16.
Come on.
Didn't he play Mystic Research?
He did play Mystic Research. But
he
must have used them all up by now. Oh.
Now it's 3 out of 15. There's a 1 in 5 chance it's a Dracula card, if I've got that right.
Yeah.
Which is way better odds than the default odds, which is about 1 in 3.
I think now, I mean, if you've got away with it, you're in Bucharest now, then you're just laughing. I guess there's a risk of a chartered carriage from Godalming into Bucharest. That's the only thing that is a big risk factor about doing that. But then, what's Dracula gonna do? CG away from Black Sea? Oh, well, I'll just move into the castle then. And I'll wait out the clock and try and, like, get this vamp to mature and then I just move a couple times to win or something. It's possible.
I don't think the castle would be good here.
I guess it depends on what his card is. If it's Unearthly Swiftness, you might just be able to survive in the castle long enough and then you just move twice with Unearthly Swiftness to win.
Okay.
So that's something. Yeah. That's a way you could play it.
So is the Dark Call rule now a buff to Castle Dracula?
It might be. It might well be.
Or is it just another way of saying that Unearthly Swiftness and Darkness Returns are OP?
Maybe it's that. Maybe they make the castle better. Yeah.
It's like Lucky Find. It's so good it makes Garlic Wreath good. It's such a good card. It makes Castle Dracula suddenly it's not a death trap anymore.
I kind of like the double rumor because if he's forced to go to sea again, he'll have those 2 things kicking around, and that's going to be a right headache for the Huns to try and deal with 2 of those things. He mustn't have good stuff. The fact he just supply it, why not play Renewed Vigor and just supply and then move? I'm really confused about what's going on here. I know you don't know where he is, but... Wow. This is ridiculous. He's almost 4th week.
If he's on the Black Sea coast, pretty soon he's going to be able to just go to the Black Sea, and Ionian will fall off the trail just in time.
Yeah.
And then at that point, all he has to do is land somewhere.
You got to be careful about... Oh, there's scouts. Oh, there's the last scouts. If he misses him here, then this is huge. No, mind, he found it.
It is Sofia.
He did the obvious
He cleared
thing.
it. You go there anyway.
If he's sitting now in Bucharest, he's safe. Because he can either move on to Constanta, or he can go in towards the castle. CG is not going to kill him here, which is kind of nice. That's kind of nice. So Ionian is here, so we've got to try and think about this. If he goes Constanta now, and then Hyde, and then Black Sea, then it falls off the trail. So yeah, he only has to make 2 more land moves. Oh, hopefully that didn't cut out my mic. I didn't realize I was pressing the button. You only need to make 2 more land moves. Can Pizzawizard force him off in time? Or maybe he bluffs that he's going to Black Sea Coast, and he actually is now in Belgrade. And then he goes like Szeged, and then he moves into the castle if he's really threatened. Again, it all depends on what the card is. That's the thing. That's the big question here.
It is really important that Castle Dracula and the adjacent cities can't be affected by consecrated ground. That's important here.
Yeah, very important. Bucharest can get hit, but Galatz and Klausenberg can't. So it's basically giving Dracula 3 spaces, which are free. But then you just need to get a chartered carriage from one of these 2, and then a horse move, and then suddenly they're in the castle.
Right. They can surround the castle and lay siege to it.
He hasn't. Oh my goodness, he hasn't played CG. Oh my goodness.
They'll bring their siege towers and their battering rams, their army 10,000 strong, and storm the whole castle.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, if you have Unearthly Swiftness or Darkness Returns, I mean that's without wolf form, it's still pretty tough to get away, but it's actually possible.
Whoa, he's feeding? Damn, that's bold.
So what? This is Varna, probably, right?
Yeah, but now you could get CG'd
What I
off, and
think.
then you're in trouble because you're gonna have to then you can't go Ionians. You have to wait for the heavily host ticket to disappear, and then you're gonna have to land back there again. And if a hunter's sitting there, then you're just gonna die.
I think you're right. He would take an error
No,
if
he
he
would.
got
No,
CG'd.
no. He'd get if he gets CG'd off now. He would go to Black
He'll
Sea,
go to the Black Sea.
but then to avoid the error, he would have to land back, and he would. There's no way he would take the error because then both these rumor tokens suddenly then disappear. Well, actually, no. The Varna one would stay.
He wouldn't have a choice at that point. He'd be in the Black Sea, and Ionian's still on the trail, so he would just be forced to move into 56 or 17 at that point. That'd be his only legal move.
Oh, I guess the game forces you to misdirect, right? Or does it not force you to
Yeah,
misdirect?
yeah, no, it will. It's not a Dracula error until he's checkmated, so to speak. He has no legal move.
So what he needs to get into Constanta then, because at least then the rumor figure this. Unless
Because he can't hide. So yeah, you're right. You just move to 17, and then Hyde comes back, and then you can go to Black Sea on the turn after you hide. You have to hide still, if I've gotten that right.
Well, if he hides now, it doesn't matter if he hides or goes to Constanta now. If he's able to do that without, oh my god.
Oh, he's not there.
Oh my.
Is it Valona maybe? Because from there he actually can just go to the Adriatic.
Oh, that's so safe for him then. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's off the rail line, so it wasn't really accessible by any of the hunters.
Yeah, that's huge actually. But the problem is you don't know it's that. It could be Salonika, or it could just be a huge bluff and he's just feeding in Bucharest. Because why on earth would you feed in Bucharest?
Maybe you could even, depending on what happens, you could go to Galatz and hide in Galatz.
Yeah, that'd be good, because he can go to Galatz now.
Maybe you can go to Castle after.
Yeah. Because imagine if he goes into Galatz now, right? Sophia's here, so he's in Galatz. He can then move into the castle and hide with, say if he has an overly swiftness, we're assuming he does have it, but we don't know that. He would then get up. Yeah, the Sophia thing's about to mature, and he's sitting there in the castle. The hunters would then have to pull the trigger and try and kill him in the castle. But what happens if he's got? There's no way he has double fog. Because there's one fog in the discard. So if he can maybe play around the forewarned, but I was like, the hunters have so many events. It's so likely they're going to have double forewarned at this point.
Maybe he's in 17 now.
Now that would be cool. That would be very cool. If he's in Constanta now, that's really cool because he can just go to Black Sea now. He's so safe.
It's either that or he's hiding in Valona.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, I think Constanta is probably the best move here because he can slide the trail, go to Black Sea, and then he can just go to Ionia, and he's not going to get the checkmate penalty. And then they've got these two rumor tokens to deal with. And then as soon as the rumor token is going to mature, you just land to win, and just play on Earthly Swiftness or something.
Flying, and it's Constanta. Okay.
Right. How many hunters can he get into this fight? He can get 2 probably if there's a Charlie Carriage.
He probably has the other surprising return, right? Because he used one of them, if I recall correctly. Yeah, he surprising return Jonathan Harker. And there's so few cards left in the deck, the chances are pretty good he's got the other one. So he could potentially surprising return Rufus Smith back into play here.
But then if you've got Devilish Power, you can yoink it. You can get rid of Rufus, and there's no surprising return to bring it back.
But then you don't have Devilish Power anymore,
and
you've shown the hunters that you don't have it, so you could get CG'd.
No, but if you're
I would still do it.
If you're at sea, who cares? You can just...
Well, they might CG you when you land.
Right, which is then why you try to get something like Sophia to mature, maybe, and then at least then you've got a huge amount of points.
To be clear, I would still do that. I would still use Devilish Power to get rid of Rufus. It's better to defeat the card that you know is there in play, about to win for the hunters, than to anticipate a future card.
Why is Godalming backtracked? Can you explain that to me?
Because he's about to CG Dracula into the Black Sea.
But that doesn't matter. He's not going to get the checkmate penalty. He's not getting checkmated. This is not a checkmate. Oh, you get Aggie now? Oh.
No, he won't get the error, but
He's forced to go to C, okay. But
I don't know. Maybe he's not gonna CGM.
Oh, wait. Oh, he equipped Aggie. He got rid of... Oh, yeah. Fine, because Rufus Smith is not in play. Uh-oh,
He only searched with Rufus, yeah.
Right, there's a trade going on here. So what's the trade? Is the trade for Heroic Leap? Is it for full ward? It has to be for full ward, surely. So is Mina just going to try to hit him? Oh, it has to be a full ward. Has to be, right? Yeah.
Nice.
Good play with a full ward. I mean, but there's nothing else Gio could do. He had to ambush there. You have to hope that he doesn't have it.
Yeah, you have to hope maybe she was just being traded like a heroic leap or an escape route.
Clever.
He
then supplies after, so he's now got 3 events. Oh god. Discarding the horse. Oh man, this makes her combat so strong. With planned
revealing
ambush.
the rifle. Evil present.
I'd have been good if Ed got drawn first. I would have told him exactly where he was. Without the need to surprise
Dracula is not adjacent to any hunters.
Nope, he's not adjacent to any hunters at all.
Shucks. Shucks. He's right behind you! Blah!
Right, can he survive this? There's an Aggie in play, and there's a planned ambush in play. Can Dracula survive this?
But it's just Mina.
It is just Mina. Does she have host? If she only has weapons, this is fine, I think.
She has the rifle. What else does she have? Does she have the knife still? She used a knife earlier on a wolf.
There's been no trades, so she must have knife.
So she has the knife and she has the hose. She's in a good spot. Oh, that's a good play from Dracula. Now she'll have to choose to deal either just a small amount of damage or to let the plotting go through, which would be very dangerous.
Yeah.
Well played, Dracula.
Yeah. And that kind of tells you he doesn't have Heavenly Host. I think you'd throw down the 4 damage here if you had it, I think.
Oh, really? And let the plotting go through? I don't know about that. Because Dracula's just gonna fang you and get his health back.
Aggie's in play.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But then there's
You're right.
But then there's a big risk of like potential mesmerizers and then into a bite.
Mina dies and Dracula gains 5 influence.
But maybe there's great strength kicking around as well, which then would just be, you're not getting any value out of it. You're only getting 1 for the bite. Mesmerize is good. That I like.
After the punch. Yeah.
I think that's kind of good. That's good for Dracula here. Unless she does have Heavenly Hose and she's just bluffing this. And now Dracula's going to try and play Strength against her, and then she throws out Heavenly Host. But again, like, she's surely not going to do enough damage to Dracula where it's going to be. And the fact that Seward's backtracked, I think it's kind of good for Dracula here. I thought Gadami would be there to pressure. I don't really understand why Gadami backtracked there. I guess he's thinking that Dracula's going to go to C and he wants to be ready for landing.
For when he lands, right, exactly.
Okay.
But doesn't it seem like you have to first get Dracula to go to C before you can do any of that?
Maybe the threat of Seward is enough here.
You know what it is? He's going to play Consecrated Ground, and then he's going to finish off the rest of the event deck and draw it again.
Play it twice. Again, we don't know what this card is. And it is Monday, by the way. So Dracula could move again now and use Unearthly Swiftness or something, and he might be able to get up to 6 points from this. And Sophia's going to mature, so then the hands are going to have to decide, do we want to try and kill Dracula this turn, or do we let this vampire mature? Or deal with the vamp, and Dracula escapes. The problem is, though, Dracula's kind of trapped behind his trail a little bit, because of this Sophia and Bucharest. Maybe Dracula just goes into Varna and hides. Maybe that's the solution. Oh, there's a knife. Oh, there isn't. Okay.
She's gonna be bitten.
Great strength.
There's great strength.
Okay, so no bite, but that is a point. Not really a hugely relevant point.
No, there's Sister Agatha.
Is that point relevant? No, not really. Oh well, if Sophia's like a reckless vampire, and he's able to get an ambush on it. I think you have to.
He's about to play Vampire Lair.
Oh, Yeah, that'd be big.
Get the full value out of it.
Yeah.
Well, Dracula took 1 damage.
Which
Huh?
is not bad against a planned ambushed, 3 combat item Mina, and she has a blood transfusion. Wow, of all the events she could have drawn late. Sucks for the hunters, but very good for Dracula, though. So what do you do as Drac here? You don't have Fog anymore. You got to think that Seward has a second full wand. Do you just go to sea? And you try to get these things to mature, and then that puts you, up to 9 points, maybe 7. You try to land, and then oh man, it's so difficult. This is really difficult. I don't know what the answer is here.
Can you use a chartered carriage with sense of emergency?
For who? Oh, you're just asking in general? Yes.
In general.
If you sense of emergency, especially if you sense of emergency first, there's no way it goes wrong. So Gadami could sense of emergency his way to say Saged, and then he could rail with chartered carriage or a normal rail move. He's off to sea.
Well, what if he took a fast horse to Vienna, and then he took a chartered carriage? Could you do that?
Fast horse to where? Vienna, and then chartered carriage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Rufus.
Yeah, there's surprising return.
But Aggie's not coming back.
Not surprising. There's only 8 cards left in the deck.
If it's a devilish power, he could just yoink that. Oh, let him in it. Have any? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. You could do that. Yeah. Because both surprising returns have been used.
Why?
Both surprising returns. Yeah. Why what? Why would you take away Rufus? Take less damage.
Oh no. I was just saying he's just supplying with Godalming.
Well, I guess so. He wants to try and get CG or whatever else he needs, right?
So now we're dealing with Sophia.
I hope Sophia's bats. I'd rather have that because you can actually punt Seward away here, and if Mina's gone to Bucharest, you can actually misdirect Constanza and move back in there. I mean, there's a risk of CG and stuff. If you got Devilish Power, then maybe it's not a big problem. I don't know. It's
Dracula's gonna have to land somewhere. The problem is gonna be knowing where. You're gonna have to play Money Trail.
unless
Or maybe Hypnosis Dr. Seward with Mina, and then you could play Speedy Telegraph, play Hypnosis. Now you know where Dracula is. Then you rush Van Helsing and Godalming there with movement events and kill him.
Is there having host here? No. Yes, state then. Unless a lot depends on what happens with these vamps. But if Seward and Mina get really beaten up, do you just go to Ione and then Wolf Form to save Valona? The problem is you don't have Fog, which makes this all very, very nasty.
Yeah, Wolf forming to Valona seems a little risky at this point. Like, why not just play it safe and go to the Turanian and maybe even the Mediterranean?
The problem is I don't think that's even safer, because you're giving the hunters another turn of supply, and you got 2 fully stocked hunters
Rufus
that you got
Smith.
nothing, you don't know anything about them over here.
Rufus Smith is in play, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, you take even more damage from it. Yeah. If you go into Adriatic and you suddenly get Money Trail, you get CG to death.
Yeah, he's kind of between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. I almost would prefer it if he... it's so tough. And it's so tough because I'm not playing, so it's just like you haven't got the emotion when you're sitting here just watching this, but... Yeah.
Staked.
I think landing in... I think you could have gone to Varna. If you had Unearthly Swiftness, I think you go into Varna and then you hide. So you got double encounter, which could really hurt, and Sophia's about to mature. So if the hunters move in and somehow don't kill you, you've got a thing that's about to mature. Oh, we know what the card is now. It is Devilish Power.
Yeah, that's good information.
It is Devilish Power.
Gonna probably get rid of Rufus.
Do you use it for Rufus, or do you use it against the inevitable CG?
It's a really tough decision. I mean, on the one hand, they know about the Devilish Power now, so there's very little chance that Pizzawizard's gonna misplay his CG, right? He's gonna play it in such a way as to where the Devilish Power is rendered irrelevant with careful placement of the tokens.
Right.
But, on the other hand, that's not always totally possible.
But I guess the problem is if you use Devilish Power to get rid of Rufus, then Pizzawizard can play CG however he wants.
Yeah.
And he's going to get through the entire event deck. This is just not... Oh, goodness sake.
Quite the feat. Quite the feat.
And he's not even like trolling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get some. I mean, I'm not complaining about any players, but there's some players who are like, oh, I've clearly lost. Let's just supply through the event deck for fun. He's playing legit here, and he got through the entire event deck. That shouldn't be allowed to happen. Oh. I'm only saying this because my teammate is Dracula. If there's any other Dracula player, I'll be like, yeah, go Pizzawizard, or go whoever the Hunter player is. But look at the power of supplying. But I don't know. Don't ambush. Don't ambush. Don't ambush. Don't ambush.
Yeah, he used his stake already.
Yeah. Because he's now guaranteed. Yeah, there's the vampire. See, that's why he's guaranteed like every card now. He's got. He's gonna have the second renewed vigor. He'll have CG. He has a full ward. He has the excellent weapon.
Oh, and with that vampire lair, all the stakes are in the discard pile.
Oh, that's huge information. Okay. Ugh.
Yeah. Okay. Now she moves on to admit, so they can fight it together. No, it's a reckless.
Wait, why are you ambushing? Oh. I don't agree
she
with
might
that.
just kill it. Yeah, damage on the hunters, it doesn't matter at this point, really.
Maybe he wants to get the 1 point, but the problem is, that's then going to cause issues down the line. If this vampire is off the board,
you might get your 1 point, but you might get holy bullets too.
Okay, well, that's like.
It's a shame she isn't wearing a garlic wreath with a heavenly host in her hand.
Okay, that point is actually quite important here, because then you're in a situation where it's only one fewer day in the 4th week.
It's a good point. Did you see Randiv's game versus Fangs of Fire?
I didn't, I'm afraid. No, I was very busy last night. And then by the time I realized the game was still going on, it was almost finishing anyway, so no, I didn't see it.
It was a roller coaster. I'll just go in briefly into the highlights. Randiv at one point used a long night to actually set up a really good play with Consecrated Ground. And he also he had Mina fighting a Reckless Vampire, and she was wearing a Garlic Wreath, and she played Heavenly Hosts, and the Reckless played Fangs. And the way the cards interact, apparently, and Kaz explained it pretty well, but the Fangs goes through first, and then the Garlic Wreath happens. So the vampire died, suffered the 4 damage, and instantly died. And she got to keep her Heavenly Host and live.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
because none of the text on Heavenly Host gets read.
Right.
It's not relevant
Garlic
at that
Reef
point.
triggers first. That's insane.
Right, exactly. So it was pretty cool to see that. Like, I'm just gonna guaranteed kill this thing with the 2-card combo.
And you're revealing Heavenly Host, but who cares? You get to keep it. And you can maybe trade it off later, right? So there's no big deal.
You either use it and it dies, or you keep it and it dies. And Garlic Wreath scores a kill.
Oh, your escape is missed? Ah, you can maybe get another point out. Oh, you could have got another Fang off. Oh, damn.
But didn't she have her knife still?
Yeah, she had the knife on cooldown, but the knife wouldn't kill, though, because of the mesmerize.
She was mesmerized? I didn't see it, yeah.
Yeah, mesmerize the dodge. Well, so a point's really important here. That's key. The problem is he's got so much work to do to try to win. He's got to move 4 land spaces.
Yeah.
And that doesn't include feed. Just, flipping heck. It's...
No Money Trail was played. Oh, right, because he's in the Ionian right now, of course.
Right,
of course.
right,
You play Money Trail on the next turn.
Oh,
and he's got to have it.
But I think you're... I don't know. I hate to say this, but I think it's Dracula. I think you're fucked here. Because if you go to Adriatic, you're getting CG to death. If you go to Rinian, you're either going to land and get CG to death, or jumped on by 2 hunters, or you're forced to go to the Mediterranean, so you take even more damage, and then you get CG'd from the Mediterranean. So I just don't see how this ends well at all.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
I guess the only way is you move to Tyrrhenian and hope that neither of these hunters move to the coast, so then worst case scenario, you're only getting, best case scenario, you're going to hit, well, no. Worst case scenario, best case scenario, I guess it depends how you think about it. You're only going to get 1 hunter coming onto you with excellent weather?
The wacky thing is, Dracula,
But then
he
you got
only
heroic
got
leap and you
dragged into
die.
one fight this entire game, and he got punched. That was it.
Yeah.
So almost all the damage you're looking at is self-inflicted, and he even managed to feed
Yeah.
at one point. So I mean, it just takes a lot out of the poor old rascal to run away like this, I guess, is the lesson.
And this is why I'm trying to think. I'm kind of thinking, well, I think this is an argument of maybe why he should have gone around the castle, because now the hunters are in this situation going, okay, well, Rufus isn't relevant, and if he takes damage, he just moves into the castle and he heals all of that back up, and he still gets points from moving into the castle. He could hide there.
And he moved by land for a huge portion of the game. It wasn't one of those
Yeah.
games where Dracula gets caught out really early and forced into the sea. He got caught out early and he lost them in Central Europe and bought himself a lot of time. It was only sort of towards the late game that he went to sea.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all of his health is just evaporated. Where does it all go?
So now we're kind of seeing by what's
Dark call attacks.
Yeah. Long game? It is a long... In terms of in-game time, we've only been... The game has only been going on for about an hour and a half, so the pace has actually been pretty good. I think Dracula's dead here. I can't see how you survive all this. Because the problem is, you don't even guess, going, well, maybe the hunters don't have excellent weather. Maybe, maybe they don't have full wall. Maybe they don't CG. Pizzawizard has every single card in the game. And I think this... okay, that was fortunate he didn't move on to Genoa. Yeah, I don't know. I feel that Gyro should try to play the whole game of going, alright, you come to the castle and fight me then, and we'll see what happens. And I think we're seeing now the consequences of not causing Pizzawizard enough trouble early. Because he was just able just to sit there and go, Van Helsing doesn't have to move, he can just supply all game. Mina did have to move a little bit, but she's been sitting on Munich for loads of turns and just supplying. I think that's the issue.
I mean, not for lack of trying, though. He put out a lot of damaging encounters. The hunters were weakened and damaged in the first phase of the game. Mina hit a bats and a bad night fight. I mean, there were opportunities. There were attempts. It's easier said than done. I mean, even if you put down a rumored vampire really early in the game, you still got the scenario where Pizzawizard says, fine, whatever, I'll just... I'm not prepared to take this one on. I'll just let it mature. You get your 7 points, and then they kill you in the third week anyway. You know? Because even that's not really particularly disruptive if the hunters just decide to punt and take the loss.
Right. But at least you got the points in the bag, and then you're threatening, okay, I can make a risky land move here, and if they CG me, I've got Devilish Power, I can get out of it, and then I win.
It's still tough. I don't know about going to the castle, because he didn't have Unearthly Swiftness, he didn't have Darkness Return, Wolf Form wasn't coming back for a long time.
Damn.
There's
okay, well, that's... I think if that's not the nail in the coffin, I mean, that was the only sort of saving grace here. If Gio could get that to mature, he's up to 8 points. He only has to move twice to win. He's now going to move 4 times. That's just so difficult. I guess now CG's weaker. That's the only good thing about it. Oh, he's drawn behind the veil again.
Second behind the veil. The surprising return of Behind the Veil.
Oh. That's amazing. And Gio had fangs and he didn't play it. That's amazing. Behind the veil, yeah. That's unbelievable. This is Pizzawizard top here, and Gio needed to be better. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. It's really hard. I mean, Pizzawizard's just tough to play against any day, right? So I'm not trying to. 3 renewed vigors.
3 renewed vigors.
He could get 3rd renewed vigor. We've never had that. Yeah,
that would be pretty insane.
Yeah, Met King. He's drawn through the entire event deck, and he wasn't trolling while doing so. This is probably one of, like, the most insane Hunter performances I've ever seen. This is ridiculous.
You put down rats for your first encounter? Fine. I'll play Behind the Veil twice.
Oh, crap. Okay, Oh, we really don't want an advert now. Let's snooze this. Okay. That's delayed it. Oh god. Okay, we might get an advert in 9 minutes time. Right, let's hope the game's over by then. There is only one behind the veil card, Determinator, but because he's run through the deck, he's drawn it twice. This has never happened, by the way, Determinator. We've seen people go through the event deck, but they've done it because they're like, I probably lost. Let's just try and finish through the deck before Dracula wins. I've never seen a hunter play legit, like really, really legit, and get through the entire deck. And then some. This is ridiculous. So yeah, I think, I don't know. There needed to be a little bit more risk-taking earlier, right? I feel... What?
Why didn't he play Money Trail?
I don't know why he didn't, but that's a very good question. He must have it, surely. Oh no, there's no way he discarded Money Trail.
Why would you discard Monkey Trail? Yeah. You gotta find Dracula's trail of monkeys that he leaves behind.
I guess maybe he doesn't care, because he can just Money Trail now, if Dracula lands.
Yeah.
Dracula has to land now, sure, he has to land now.
But, I mean... And he never Devilish Powered Rufus Smith.
No, he didn't.
Which is, it's cost him 2 health so far. He'd be at 6 if it wasn't for that.
I guess he wanted to do it because he wants to do it for the CG, right? But depending on where he lands, the CG token might be irrelevant, because Devilish Power only allows you, we can't see it here, but Devilish Power only allows you to remove the CG token, not Heavenly Host tokens. So you can play CG in such a way that you play the CG really far away on the other side of the map, but the Heavenly Host just kill you. So,
Fun fact for the viewers, you can even place down a CG token and a Heavenly Host token in the same location.
Yeah, that's another thing you can do. Yeah.
Not a lot of people know that.
No, because why they would never do it. Why would they do it? But there are situations where it is very useful to do it.
It's nothing that says you can't.
Oh man, I mean, the only saving grace here is he didn't play Money Trail, and there are no scouts and no surprising return. So there's no way he's suddenly going to get walloped with, you know, suddenly a rogue... Well, no, now the deck's reset, so never mind. He might get a hide scouts now. What am I talking about?
Yeah. He should have played Consecrated Ground already, because he might have drawn it again. In which case, since the game only comes with 1 CG token in the box, you simply pick it up from where it was and move it onto a new space.
That's very cool. Would the digital edition allow that?
Good question.
How much damage does CG do if Drag's in that location? So CG doesn't actually do damage. What CG allows you to do, though, is if you put a token, either Heavenly Host or CG, into the space where Dracula currently is, and also surround him in such a way that Dracula has no legal move, he takes 5 penalty damage. That's called the CG checkmate, is what we call it. We call that the checkmate. If...
the Dracula error.
Or Dracula error, however you want to call it, yeah. But then, if Dracula, after taking the error, and he wipes the entire trail, excluding his current location, if he still can't make a move, so he can't return to C or whatever, then he gets CG nuked, where he just takes 5 damage repeatedly until he dies. Yeah, that's a CG nuke, yeah. So, CG doesn't actually do damage, but it allows you to cause a sort of penalty error onto Drac. But he's got Devilish Power, but it might not matter.
Prevents him from moving to any of the locations that have that on it, and if he's already in that location, he's forced to move to a new one.
Yeah.
So yeah, an obvious example would be like if he were to wolf form to Granada in 26, you could put down tokens such that you placed all 4 of them and surrounded him and his current location in 26. That would be a CG nuke, because he's got nothing he could do but take the error and then take the error again until he's dead, even from full health.
Well, that happened. There's a game, it was Terminus against Azagar. Oh, he's moving again? Oh my goodness. Oh,
yeah.
no, he doesn't.
So this is Mediterranean, for sure.
Oh,
now, well, he can wolf form,
nope.
and it gives him a lot of options.
Oh, no, I know what he's going to do. You can play CG now, and you could force him to land in a very specific location, because he can't move to C again because of Rufus.
No, you can actually... Well, one of the Heavenly Hosts is in the discard pile.
Right, unless they all supply now, and they might be able to get it back. But what you could do here is do something like, CG Alicante and Barcelona and Cagliari. So then he's forced to either move into Marseille or wolf form through Marseille. I guess he has Devilish Power, right? So he could remove one of the other tokens. But he could do it in a way like, I guess you CG Cagliari then, because then he's trapped behind his own trail. Gio's gonna have nightmares tonight.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tricky because the wolf form opens up Zurich, Geneva, Clement Ferrand. I mean, you've got these options. So are you going to check all of them? But if he wolf forms to, well, if he wolf forms to Cagliari, he's dead. He can't win the game at that point.
Okay. This really sucks. Can I? Oh, okay. I was able to snooze for the last time. Okay, cool. Okay, we got a respite. We got 8 minutes until the next one. Okay. Yeah, see, there's also CG Hotel, which is another terminology where you're able to... Wait, how did he move that far?
Sense of emergency.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, you're able to do some really cool stuff where you CG in such a way that you block Dracula behind the CG token and his own trail. In this case, because Dracula's devilish power, he won't be able to do that. But that is also another really cool thing that you can do. Yeah, this is just grim. I think he needs to land because you need to try and get some points and force the hunters to start running around and find out where you are, and you might just be able to survive with a hide and a feed and stuff. This is just delaying the inevitable, I think. Maybe I don't know what the solution was to this problem. I think it's gonna be
Play somebody else.
Say it again.
Play against somebody else.
Yeah, I think that's probably the. Just don't play Pizzawizard. I think maybe the way you do it there is with those 2 rumor tokens up. I think he had to move into Varna. But the problem is now we know his devilish power. But I think maybe you do it. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good idea. You try to take the 2-on-1 and beat them up. I suppose you didn't have Fog. Maybe you don't play Fog and Constanta then. And then you burn the forewarned off something else. Or let Mina take extra damage. And then you put Fog in Varna. And Seward might not have forewarned. Land in Naples? Possibly. No, we can't land in Naples now because he's in the Mediterranean anyway. But I mean, maybe he could have done that. I guess you could have Fate Wolfform onto Naples, right? Then you go Bari, then you feed, and then you've got options of doing some other stuff. You could hide, you could go to Adriatic. I don't know. This is just... Yeah, here it comes. Here it comes. I mean...
So where's the token going?
Dracula's going to be guaranteed up to 4 IDS here. So he's not going to go home... Yeah, okay, I agree with that, actually.
Fine with that, yeah.
Because if he removes it, who cares? Because he can't win by going to Cagliari, because he hasn't got enough points.
Right.
If he had a vampire mature, he would have been able to go to Cagliari to win.
Yep. From 7, you go there and get 10, and then you hide and win the game.
Yeah, so now this devilish power is irrelevant.
Okay.
And as you said,
So now Dracula...
He
can only land at Barcelona or wolf to Saragossa. That's it.
Yeah, so that's actually a really good move.
Putting the Heavenly Host down in Marseille wasn't something I was even thinking about, but that makes perfect sense because you cut off all those bad options.
Up to 6 IDS? Oh, well, okay, in terms of the modifier. Yeah, that's true. I'm thinking about pure influence. Yeah, so it is 6 IDS. I think even if you go to Saragossa, right, if you go to Barcelona... And if you move to Saragossa and doesn't find you, well, you're now suddenly trapped in Barcelona because Gadalme can get to Toulouse tomorrow, right? Pizzawizard can play this as slow as he wants, basically. If you discover him in you could charge Gadalme to Saragossa. Doesn't find you, doesn't matter. He can just sit outside Barcelona and then move in. I guess the only way is if somehow Dracula draws double fog here, but the problem is... Yeah. No, he doesn't have fog in his hand. He's about to land. So that's not going to happen.
You kind of have to wolf to 48.
I mean, the other solution that Fangs is saying in the chat is you take the L but you just go to Cagliari, so you maximize your IDS. I saying che tonto soy. Like, he's realizing he's made a mistake. I could have used it to get rid of Rufus. Oh no, we don't know how Devilish Power works. Oh god.
Shame that.
Oh. Oh no. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it really matters, right? Because if you get rid of Rufus, then CG is now way more of a threat. And then a Heroic Leap would still kill you anyway. You're in Heroic Leap range, so... he is S tier after all? Right, Pizzawizard, stop mocking me. He's just taking the piss. He discarded Lucy's Revenge, and now he's calling Rufus Smith S tier after he put him in A tier. I mean, that's just grim. Yeah, I don't know. It's so tricky, right? Because going to C means you can't be killed, but you're just going to get killed slower. Where I think you just have to take the punt and say, I'm going to stay on land. If they catch me, so be it. Because if I go to C, they're just going to burn through the deck. They'll get all the good stuff, and I'm screwed 5 turns from now.
Counterintuitive to what you might think. Yes, you're absolutely right. It's almost like you want to get caught up in a 2-on-1 fight, and you want to just get it out of the way while you can, and put the hurt on the hunters, get away as a bat, something like that. Put them in any kind of a bad situation because you have to think about the long haul.
So he's getting rid of Rufus to go to South Atlantic.
I don't know about that one.
So what he's going to do, he's going to land from South Atlantic. That just gives the hunter even more time to... Unless he's... Gets fog.
Hoping the situation will improve in the meantime.
But how's it going to improve?
Yeah,
he's not going to get anything
he could
to
layer...
He could
layer Constanta, and then that might get him his fog.
Right.
I said he was hoping. I didn't say it was going to help.
Yeah, we're talking about it earlier, Fangs. That was a really good game. Fangs was talking about his game against Gyro last night. Gyro.
Yeah, that was a terrific game. That was such a roller coaster. I would definitely recommend anybody watch that.
It was quite a long one though. Sense of emergency. Yeah, maybe you just take the L and say, I'm going to Cagliari. I'm going to get forced off. Well, is there any way he could have survived? Let's think about this. Tyrrhenian is here, right? So he goes to Cagliari, Tyrrhenian's here. He hides. He dark calls, he feeds. No, he has to feed first and then dark call. Oh.
So
then he could move off. Wait, what?
Well, if he fed and dark called, he would.
Wait a minute. Wait. How did? Oh, he used rail to get to Bordeaux. Oh, Mystic Research again. Oh my god. This is insane. This is just truly insane. Oh, sorry, people. There's an ad coming up. I'm really sorry. I can't avoid it anymore. I can't snooze anymore. He could have actually got off Cagliari, you know. Because Cagliari's... Well, then you just get Heroic Leap to death before that can even happen, right? But you... yeah, Trinian's here. So you're in Cagliari. Hide... Dark feed, dark call, and then you can go to C, and then you can land again. So you would get 3 more points, 6 more points, and then land again, as long as you don't get heroic leaped by then. So you'd be up to 11 points. If they don't catch you when you land, you can then move to win. So there was maybe a way you could have done it, but the problem is that you just need an extra wave of heroic leap, and then you're cooked. just had to hope that maybe the Hunters didn't have their ducks in order and there wasn't the possibility to trade and stuff. But, I mean, with renewed vigor, Van Helsing could have done it. That's the thing. Oh, and Unearthly Swift is on the bottom of the deck? That's just cruel.
Wait, why is it there?
Because he used Mystic Research.
He played Mystic Research again.
Again.
That is one erudite gentleman.
And yeah, he got double sense of emergency out of Seward as well. So now Seward's relevant. I mean, Drag's on 1 health. I don't think he needs 3 Hunters, but...
Well, there's 3 locations Dracula could land.
Yep.
Afraid this one's all over but the crying blood.
The only way is if he gets fog, and he can fog the right people.
Oh, but even then, I mean, he's got to get... There's such a deficit of points. Where's he going to run to?
Right, I was going to say, like, to maximize IDS, you could hide in the fog and then move, and then you'll die the next turn. But at least, you know, you're going to get 3 sets of 3 points out of it, so it'll be up to 10. That's, I guess that's the only thing you can do. Further renewed vigor?
He played a good game.
Oh,
that's the crazy thing to me. Like,
oh my god.
He played a good game. In any other game, you would have said, "Oh, Dracula going to sea sort of at the end of week 2, week 3. Not so unusual. Not such a bad move." He only moved 2 sea zones and then landed, all seemingly above board play, right? But against Pizzawizard, it's just a death sentence.
Yeah.
He just gave him all the time he needed.
Yeah, it just there wasn't as much pressure at the beginning as we thought there was, and it's just ended up in a situation where Pizzawizard just rinsed through the entire deck, and then who cares under how much pressure he's under, right? It's kind of the same thing which happened in the sort of the first game that Pizzawizard played against Fangs. Even though Fangs were doing some really cool stuff with the brides and rinsing through the encounter deck, well, it didn't really matter, because in the end, Pizzawizard he didn't get as many supplies as this, but he was able to get enough that he was able to force Fangs to go wherever he wanted him to go, and then that's it. So
all you have to do is keep your head above water, so to speak.
Yeah, just keep head above water for long enough. If his Pizzawizards are good at this game, he knows not to take stupid fights with Hunters, so he's not going to accelerate the game out of his control in any sort of way.
Yeah, highly efficient movement too. If you were to go back and watch this, you'd hardly see a wasted move in the whole game. Yeah.
If there's any new Hunter player out here who wants to learn how to play Hunters well, just watch this, and it tells you everything you need to know. You don't even need to listen to commentary. Just literally fixate on all of the Hunter positions and see how many times they moved. And there was there's a definite lack of inefficient movement. Made slightly easier because Dracula did moves like to Milan. That was on a rail line that Sue was going to go to anyway, so he didn't really get much of an advantage out of it. Can you hide here? I guess you just hide. Well, it doesn't matter. Maybe it does have fog. Against Pizzawizard, good play isn't good enough. Yeah, you need to be flawless, and then I think you also need something to go against Pizzawizard in a big way, like we saw with the whole Combat Wombat, like Combat Wombat Wombo combo game, right? Where he's able to get a manual to then get Unearthly Swiftness to mature the vamp he didn't expect, and then you had the bats and custom search and all of this sort of shenanigery, right? You need so much extra stuff to go in your favor and make it as hard as possible for Pizzawizard. Are we in week 5?
Did Wombat win that game?
He did, in 45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
It was mental. But it wasn't a tournament game, unfortunately.
Oh, no wonder Pizzawizard's on the warpath then.
Yeah, he learned in that game. He's like, right, okay. Oh, he doesn't even have fog. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, an escape route. Oh my god. He has everything. Yeah, we're week 5. I think I can only remember maybe 2 other games in tournament history that I've gone to week 5. Damn.
This is when everybody around the board game table, if you're playing physical edition, it'd be midnight, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Everybody's just had enough.
Just get it over. Yeah, there it goes.
People are going home. There's the heroic leap.
GG Pizzawizard. That was just flawless Hunter play. That's probably one of the best Hunter displays I've ever seen. And that is so scary, by the way, in terms of Pizzawizard has played against two really tough Draculas first, in terms of historical history in terms of tournaments. We know Fangs is a good Dracula player from the league, that's just God, and we know Gio's a good Dracula, given his league and also what happened last year in this tournament. And Pizzawizard's just gone, meh, I don't care. Absolutely. Right for applause. He just pushed them both aside.
Wow, very impressive stuff. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
Yeah, he needed to find Seward, but then Mina could have still killed the vampire anyway. But yeah, that was a huge moment. You need that little slice of luck to go in your favor, and it didn't.
Yeah, there's very little for us to criticize there.
No, from a Hunter display, yeah. I think going to C is, in hindsight, the decision that wasn't. I think you take the risk and just say, I'm going to stay on land, force these hunters to come and look for me. They might miss me because they can't do every move. A lot of the high scouts were gone, and even if they do find me and I take some damage, well, I've got the castle right there. And then what are you going to do now? I've got 15 health Dracula to deal with.
Yeah, at least that'd be something.
Yeah. It's such a shame. The time when Mina was at her weakest, Dark Call wasn't a possibility because he was so close to the hunters, because he was doing these zigzags, so in the end he wasn't actually very far away from them, and he could have got pounced on. He could have got pounced on by all 4 hunters in Nuremberg or wherever he was at that time. But because it wouldn't have been Devilish Power, it would have been something else. A Great Wolf would have killed Mina, Vampiric Influence into something, and Zagreb could have killed her, and then that's then a completely different game. I'm not saying Gio would have won, but you'd have then a situation where your horse down, more points, all that sort of stuff. It's really tough, but I mean, this is... Pizzawizard is... I mean, is this controversial to say he's the best player in the community right now? I think I need to practice. Pizzawizard is on the warpath, and that alone, not even thinking about what Strider can do as a teammate. Strider is going to pick up wins because Strider's a good player. We've seen it in the league. Strider is a decent player. If Pizzawizard alone is just racing through these games and getting a lot of IDS out of them, that is just already a huge worry for every other team in this competition. The plotting round will destroy my mental.
A formidable duo, they'll certainly be.
Yeah. I guess now, because of the way this tournament's structured compared to last year, I guess everyone's just going to play for second and try and get into the final and hopefully catch them on a bad day, like I did it in the league, right? In the league of 2024, in case people don't know, Pizzawizard finished top. But I just managed to catch him in the final on not maybe his best day and managed to get him. But he played the best across the whole league phase. So... Tough.
Very good game.
Very tough.
Yeah, he's a difficult opponent to say the very least.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that in this tournament format somebody can break ahead like that and still not seal the victory because anybody could catch them in the final.
Yeah.
And seal it and get the win.
Yeah. Because as soon as you get into knockout, wacky stuff can happen. Law of averages say that if we're taking just say Pizzawizard on his own, he will win enough games to be really close to the top of the league, if not top of the league, right? But then you're just having to factor into, what in a knockout somebody could just catch him on a bad day, but he would win 95% of his games. You got to try and catch him on that 5%. I'm worried.
All right,
as
on
the
that
top team. Yeah, Metki,
No,
yes, Pizzawizard's coming for you. Pizzawizard and Strider on the warpath.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Because I've got to try and do my job now. I've got to try and beat Strider. Otherwise, they're going to be 3-1, and that's that's not a good proposition. We need to try and restrict him as much as possible. Maybe we have to form like an anti-Pizzawizard Strider league here and just try and everyone tries to beat them, no matter the cost.
It's lonely at the top.
Mm-hmm. not for Pizzawizard, he's used to it.
All right, buddy. On that, I'm gonna have to set up my stream for the next game.
Oh, of course, yeah, there's another game starting soon. I can't watch it, I've got a Wingspan thing scheduled, but hopefully it's a good game and I'll check it out afterwards. Thank you very much for joining.
Absolutely. Good to be here. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you to Gyro for joining. It's always great fun, and hopefully you all enjoyed it. There wasn't a huge amount of stuff in chat, so I mean, hopefully you still found it entertaining. Maybe you're just so gripped by the action that you didn't want to chat, and that's absolutely fine. I'm just hoping Worm Talon does heavy damage to him. Yeah, even just reducing the IDS to a minimum could be all you need. Oh, well, we'll find out. We'll find out, but at the moment, Pizzawizard looks in very, very scary form. He's, not just because of the Combat Wombat thing that happened, but I think also the fact he didn't quite get the league that's finished in the autumn, so now he doesn't want to lose another tournament. So yeah, be very afraid of Pizzawizard, that's for sure, and we'll have to see. So I'll try and do everybody as a favour and beat Strider, but I can't guarantee it. But that's going to be a really tough game, and I think it's because I'm just so busy at the moment. I've been practicing, so I could easily just succumb to defeat, but we'll have to see. Well, anywho. Yeah, I'm going to sign off, but thank you everybody for watching, and I will catch you all in another game of Fury of Dracula very, very soon. I hope I can maybe try and do another one on Friday. We'll have to see. But if anybody is sticking around, I will start another stream very, very shortly. I'm going to do some Wingspan. So maybe give me about half an hour, 45 minutes or so, and then have my dinner and sort of get prepared, and we can do some... Oops. As I try to plug in my laptop, but I can't do it. We'll play some Wingspan. So different pace, nice and chill. Engine building game with birds. But anyway, thank you everybody in the Twitch chat for all the comments and for sticking around, and thank you to Gyro for commentating with me, and Pizzawizard and Gyro for an amazing game, of course. And yeah, and everybody watching on YouTube, thank you very much for checking this out. And I will see you all in another game of Fury of Dracula very, very soon, and hopefully see some of you in the stream for Wingspan later. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. The hunt is officially over. See you next time.